Hello Libra, thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Lima Tarot by Renata Lechner. That's how you spell her name and the name of the deck. Supportive oracle cards are the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Okay. Already shuffled. Let's see what we have. Interesting how. Okay. Alright. So we're coming into this time. So the situation seems like it's already coming in and you're reacting to it after it started. Because what I'm getting here is somebody is coming in. What's actually happening is somebody, you got the Emperor and you got the World. There's a new phase coming in. They're saying just that's all that needs to be said at this point because it hits for different people different ways. There's a new phase and somebody is pulling this in. Somebody is letting you know. Somebody else is starting this. Somebody's pulling in this new phase and you're a part of it. And I'm getting creativity here along with it. Like there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of excitement here, to be honest with you. And there's the creativity makes me feel like this is something different than what you're used to. No, this is something new to someone else. But you may have an inside track on this. Like, it's new to somebody else, and you might be able to help because I feel like you're familiar with this creativity card. Okay, so somebody's starting something new. They're going into a whole new era. Like, it could even be situational, I get that. But the creativity card, you're connected with this. And I'm getting, like, the reason you're connected with this is, like, to this situation, there's something new. Something new that hasn't been done that's connected with this situation, but you have done something. If you haven't done the exact same thing before, you've done something similar enough that you have like a leg up on the situation. You seem to be very connected with this creativity card because I'm getting as this situation comes towards you that you are connected to, or either you're connected to it or they're trying to pull you towards it, one of the two. I feel like you're connected one way or another. That creativity card is what you're very strongly connected to. And I'm getting you got the Two of Pentacles. You're playing it smart. You're kind of playing a poker hand is what I'm getting. You're thinking through yourself, do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to get involved? Because you're not letting people know exactly what you can do about the situation. You're playing it very coy, I get. You're very a little elusive just because you want to evaluate the situation. And even though these people seem to be trying to pull you in, you're just kind of like, how deep do I want to be in this? And I feel like that's the Two of Pentacles for you. You're like, how deep do I really want to... You're like, I need to decide. How deep do I want to be into this? And you're just seeing, is this really going to benefit me? Or is this better if I just kind of stay to the side? The situation is going forward. The situation is going into a whole new era. But you've got to really decide, do I really want to be that deep in this? Now, you're balancing it out, doing all that little Two of Pentacles stuff. The other side has the Queen of Swords. Somebody's looking at you, and they're looking at you like you know something. So somebody's looking towards you, and they know you have some type of intel or insight to the situation, and I feel like they're coming forward to you, and they're trying to get you involved. But they're trying to work with you. See, this person feels like an ally to you. I feel like they're an ally to you. They understand that you're kind of holding back and you're trying to be... You want to be sure you want to be involved with this, and they seem to respect that. But they're coming toward you in a very honest manner. They're just like, all right, I know you can handle this. I know you can do this. What reservations do you have? What's making you a little nervous? And let's see if I can help you figure it out to see if this is something you want to do. Because if you don't, I understand. I'll find another way to make this work. But like, what's holding you back? Like, what are you considering like a problem that you might not want to deal with, or why do you feel like you might not want to be a part of this? Because I kind of would like you to be here. I think this would be very good for you and good for the situation for you to be a part of it. So I feel like they're trying to convince you. They're trying to work with you. They're an ally to you. They're not like, I don't feel like they're blowing you out of the water. Like, I don't feel like they're like, what do you call it? What do you call that? Blowing you in there. They're not letting other people know, like, hey, the Libra knows something. The Libra knows something. I don't feel like they're doing that. But I do feel like they're an ally to you, and they're like, what's holding you back? What do you think is the problem here? Like, because I think it would be great to have you a part of this, but if you don't want to be a part of it, I'll help you do something else. Definitely an ally to you, because I feel like this is very strongly an ally to you. So this seems to be happening. Now, this person's coming towards you. They seem to realize that you know something. I'm getting it depends on your relationship with this person. Even though they're an ally, I feel like some of you are still kind of, you don't want them, you don't even want them to know how much you can actually help with the situation just yet, because you're trying to be very careful, because you don't want to make it look like you just don't want to help. You're trying to evaluate it. You are talking with this person somewhat, but I feel like you're still kind of a little elusive, because you're like, I don't want to put out what my reservations are just yet, because I feel like if I put them out there and they're solved, then I kind of have to be involved. And I just don't, in all honesty, I just don't know if I want to be. I just don't know if I want to be. That's kind of my biggest reservation. I just don't know if I want to put the effort into this like that. So, and I don't feel like you want this other person to know that. It's just like, you don't know if you want to put that effort into this. And it's not a bad thing, but you're just like, I don't really think I want this other person to know that, because it just doesn't seem to sound right. Because I feel like you're kind of holding that back. Like, I just don't want them to know that. Now, I'm getting this person seems to really want you to be a part of this. They're definitely an ally to you, but I feel like there's a couple conversations within a few days, and I do feel like they kind of get you to go forward. Because I'm getting the Three of Wands is coming in, and you're getting involved because this person is pulling you in. Because they're like really like saying, you know what, you'd be a really big help, you're really needed. And they are kind of fluffing your ego a little bit, which is fine. But you're just kind of like, you're liking it. I feel like you're liking it, and they're pulling you in, and you're going forward, and you're starting to help them. I feel like this kind of starts a little interesting, because I feel like this ally, you're working with the ally, you're talking it through, you're trying to figure things out through them. I feel like you originally try to like work through them, kind of like make it look like they're the one doing the work, so that way you could kind of bow out a little later if you want to. I feel like that's how you're starting. That doesn't last long though, because I feel like you're literally getting involved with the situation. I feel like when you do something and you're the one who actually deserves the credit, this ally of yours, make sure you get the credit, because they don't think it's fair that you don't get credit for your work. So they make sure you do get credit for it, and then you're kind of like, oh, I didn't want the credit because I wanted to be able to bow out if I didn't want to stay with this. But that's okay, thank you. You're not telling them that, but you're thinking, I didn't really want the credit, but that's okay. Because I really feel that's what's happening here. Are we? Yep, okay. I mean, general read, so for somebody that's hitting, though. Like, I didn't really want the credit because I wanted to be able to step back later if I felt like it, but thank you. Thanks. Now, you're getting accolades. This person believes in you. They're making sure you get due credit. They're not seeing it like a bad... They don't realize that you kind of want to bow out possibly later. They don't get that. They don't see that at all. Or they do see that and they just want to make sure you don't bow out because they really feel like you're important to the situation. Either way, people are really coming forward. They're realizing you have a lot to say, you have a lot of insight. They want your 2 cents, which is probably more like $200 if you're going to do the 2 cents thing. It's a lot more than that. Like, I feel like you have a really big contribution here. And these people are coming towards you, and they're really... you're feeling like they have confidence in you. That's interesting for this card. I don't feel like you really need confidence here, but I feel like you realize these people have a lot of confidence in you, and you're feeling that responsibility to kind of keep going forward. Is how I actually feel this card coming in. Like I feel like you know you're good at this. But I feel like when you see these people coming towards you and you realize they have a lot of confidence in you and they need you and they want your help, like they're looking toward you for answers. It's honor. It feels like an honor the way it comes through. Like you like that. That's nice to be appreciated like that. And I feel like you actually see. I got the study card down here. Like people are coming towards you, looking towards you for answers, because they feel like you know it and you do. I feel like you do. That makes you feel really good. And you got the Chariot card. You're going forward with the situation. You realize you're needed. You're feeling appreciated. You're just kind of like, all right, here we go. Let's just go forward. You go full board. The Chariot to me is full board, all the way, going into it. And I'm getting the situation you included are very much enjoying the situation. You're feeling very appreciated again. You're feeling like you're making a big contribution here. You're helping people move forward. You're giving them that counseling when they need it, that insight when they need it, the information that's needed. It seems to be going forward quite well. How does this next part happen is my question. This is interesting because there's a really good moment here and everything seems to go very well. And you give the information, you help, you lend your 2 cents, whatever. Well, it's probably more than that, but you know what I mean. It's a lot more than that, actually, because I'm getting like you're leading. And you're helping things move forward. Like, it's very good. Now, you do your part. You help. You move things forward. You say what you know. You lead in this respect. Now, this goes on. I don't feel like it goes on too long, this period. Like a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks. 2-3 weeks is what I'm feeling. And then on your side, I'm noticing the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like you're looking at the situation like you've done enough. Either you've got it going well enough on its own so that way you've imparted enough information that somebody else can take it from here and go on. Or you feel like you've given all you can give and it's time for you to move on. Either way, you got the 8 of Pentacles. Like, you've done a lot here. Within a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, I don't feel like it's very long. You've helped out. You've got things on track. You're helping people moving forward. You've given them the direction about how they should keep going and how they should keep researching, whatever that needs to be done there. You've given them something to work with. Let's put it that way. You feel like you've done what you need to do. And you're like, all right, I'm going to move on to something else now. Is this right? Yep. Yeah. You're going to move on to something else. And I feel like you're letting people know that. And I feel like that's why the 6 of Swords is here on the other side. Like it's kind of like the middle section here is how everything comes together, what's actually happening. And this is how they're reacting and contributing, and this is how you're reacting and contributing. You're letting people know, I've given a lot to this situation. I've given what I can. I feel like you guys need to take it on your own at this point, and I'm going to move on from it. Not right away, but like in a week or two, I'm going to kind of let this go. So I'm going to wean it off as we go. It's not going to be long, though. And I'm getting the other side is kind of like they really don't want you to move on. They would like you to stay in the position you were in because it's easier for them to just go to you for answers. But they are accepting that you're going to move on. I'm getting kind of like they're just accepting that the situation is moving on. Your participation is moving on through your choice, and they're just I feel like they're accepting it, but they're not happy to see you go, but they're accepting that that's what you're choosing, and they're accepting it. I think that's the best way to put it. They're accepting it. I feel like they're a little stressed, a little nervous. I feel like they like you as a reference. They feel more secure with you there. But you have to make the decision that's right for you. You did what you needed to do. You helped out. But now you've done enough and you're moving on. Is that right? Okay. Now you got 3 cards at the end here. And this is saying how it goes afterwards. Because I do feel you're relieving the situation. You got victory, you got harvest, and you got good cheer. Like, seriously, all three of these cards are very good. I feel like they're saying the victory to me says this was right. This was the right thing for you to do to move on from this. The harvest is telling me your participation in this situation is leading you to better things that you want, but you're making out. Like, you are definitely you are gaining something from this situation. I feel like that's the short. People are definitely looking out for you. They're very appreciative. Good things are going to come your way from this. That's the harvest. Because I feel like they're saying you will harvest something at some point. The victory is like, it feels like this is the right decision for you to move on. I feel like that's also part of the harvest. The fact that you not only did what you could do, but you released it to go on to something else. Because I feel like this is really, that seems to be a key piece here. Like, you're not looking to lead something permanently. You go in, you do what you need to do to get things on track, and then you let somebody else either take over or regain control. Which seems to really, I feel like somehow this is really going to benefit you in the future, especially when you have some leaders that need some help. Because I feel like that's what's going on here. Whoever you're helping, because I feel like you're helping a leader, and you become that leader temporarily, but then you hand it back, and I feel like that's really, some people really like that, to know that, they don't have to worry about somebody helping and then taking over and keeping it. They realize that you're going to come in, you might take over for a short period, but you're going to look to hand it back, and that's what some people really like. Like, they don't want to give up leadership permanently, they just want to give up leadership temporarily. I feel like this makes sense. I mean, this doesn't have to be a business situation, but it kind of feels like one. It could be a social situation, definitely, and I feel like you realize how that could work out. If this is hitting, you know how that's working out anyway. And I'm getting good cheer. Like, there's a lot of support around you. I feel like people look at you and they're very, very happy when you show up. I'm getting that they feel like things are going to work out well. Like, you're a good mediator, you're a good reference, you're very helpful, you're easy to work with, you're more about, people getting along, and they like that. So it seems like this is really the good cheer. All three of these cards is telling me, these were all face down. Were these all face down? I think they were all face down. Like, this is the benefit of the situation after the fact, as you keep going. I don't feel like there's one moment where it all hits and you get all this benefit. I feel like it's a benefit over time. It's just repeating benefits. Like, this seems to be how people are viewing you going forward. This situation here seems to be speaking loudly to your benefit, and it's profiting you over and over again in the future is what I'm getting. So, that being said, I'm getting, if this reading hits you at the right time and you're kind of like, do I not want? I'm getting just, you might as well get involved, but let your ally come towards you, because this person seems like a very big advocate for you. Let that person come towards you, and just go through the thoughts. But I'm getting the way this is going to work. I feel like the way you're handling it is a good way to handle it. But maybe part of this is, if you're not already thinking so, maybe that should be part of the balancing out the Two of Pentacles moment. Like, maybe you don't want to be permanently involved in this situation, and maybe when you get involved, you need to make sure that you're not going to be permanently involved. Maybe that's the key to this. Because I don't feel you're going to be permanently involved with this, but by being involved as much as you are, it benefits you time and time again later. Are we good? Done. They're telling me done. Alright, I'm going to wrap that up there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.